Yeah, now it's connected.
Okay, we're back online again.
You'll be back online.
Steady, Leanne, so
Oh,
the
okay.
microphone mix up.
The question online is, can you ask Leanne about expanding Gungahlin Police Complex so we can have an adequate police presence? And I guess it's a question, will it ever happen?
That's a great question. I don't know whether anyone remembers, but that was one of the promises the Libs took to the election, and we had planned to expand that whole situation. So I don't know what the Labor Greens government plans are, unfortunately. I don't believe it is in the parliamentary agreement. So I can ask the question, but it's sorely needed. It's not in, is it? No, yeah, it's a no.
The second question is from Simon. He says a community workshop exploring parking options may help, as all kinds of simple and low-cost suggestions have been rejected by the Minister.
Okay, so it sounds like I need to get onto the Minister about parking.
Yeah, I can say about the parking situation that one of the problems is if you don't have enough parking and people are forced to park on the verges, and then the government is sending the vans to target those areas specifically, it seems a little bit unfair, because essentially the problem is not the residents, it's actually the lack of parking in the first place. So technically they should be putting money towards fixing the parking situation, not finding the people that are parking.
Lucrative. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Darren. Mark?
Mark?
Short question, so not
I've been known to ask some pretty hard-hitting questions about MLAs. I'm going to give you a break this time.
Ah, great.
What's the most profound thing that you've learned being in the Assembly?
Gee. Okay, so the question is, what is the most profound thing I've learned while I've been in the Assembly? Is that it really is up to your elected person to help the community. It's difficult enough for me on the shadow side to get answers and help. So we really are that conduit. Now, I knew this going into the election, but every day I'm faced with that, because you can't just rock up and say, where's the money for this? Why isn't the pool fixed? So it has hit me like a truck that your elected people, your MLAs, must be people that you vote for, that you know, that you get to know, because they are the ones representing you. I know that might seem silly, but it's the buck stops in the Assembly a lot of the time, all of the time. And I know that's a crazy realisation, because I thought, we all could sign a petition and that might be enough, but without the people within the Assembly constantly pushing for you, it's really important to get to know us and stay in contact with us so that we can keep pushing the issues, because I can't be everywhere. I know when I door knocked or at the street in Marketplace or wherever, people were like, we can't see you, we never know who you are, where have you been? Please stay in touch with me. You know where I am now, and I can't door knock every door in a week. It's going to take me about 4 years. So, and that's the plan. So the profound realisation is that I want to get to know all of you and fight for what you want. That's what I'm here for.
I think it's a great answer, and really encouraging, because certainly my time in the community council, sometimes the MLAs
come on over.
The MLAs haven't been as connected to the local issues, and this term of government has started off with all of the MLAs, even the ones who've come in and maybe not have been locally active, being very locally active, and which is nothing but good news. But I guess one of the challenges is our 5 MLAs aren't all the same colour.
Yeah.
And do you see any forums or mechanisms where you'll actually sit around a table and work on stuff, or
100%.
engage on that? Because if that can be achieved, I think that's kind of where the community wants.
Yeah.
Nothing upsets average punter than seeing politicians arguing.
Yeah.
I just want to see what, sensible outcomes.
Sensible outcomes, and I think I don't know what you've all read about me, but I've not been secretive about the fact that I am not a politician really. It is a whole new bag to me, and I know. Admitting it's the first, yeah. So I am now a politician, but until now I've not known much about it. I've just wanted to get involved, just like you guys. So if there's something that I can agree on with Suzanne or over Gungahlin or Michael and the pond, I will be involved. The one disappointing thing, I think, and maybe the reason we're all so fired up, and I hate the term engaged, we're involved in our community, because normal people don't use the word engaged when you're having a conversation, is that there's no ministers in Yerrabi. Every other electorate has a minister, and we don't. So we're all fighting for a spot at the table. So I don't know whether you understand what that means, but we're in the party room, or when things are going down, the people that are representing Canberra and have the ability to make a ministerial decision don't live in our electorate. So unless we're fighting to have a voice, then it could get forgotten, and I'm upset about that. We deserve a minister as well. So I think all 5 of us are aware of that.
Just hopeful that having 5 that care is more important than having a minister, but maybe that's...
Maybe.
Look, any more questions? Ellie?
Yeah.
Thanks, Liam, for coming down tonight. I know it's sometimes easy to get the illegal drugs legalized in the ACT, but it's hard to get the petitions and those kind of things. When Megan was an MLA and minister, she proposed a plan about the Smart Hub, which is like a place in Gungahlin for all the public servants. It doesn't matter which department they work for, they can still able to come to that particular place and able to work. I don't know what happened to that idea, because it's pretty much gone.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, is there any way you could initiate and then see where is it, or that vision completely destroyed? Because now the lockdowns and all those things happening, I thought it would be easy for people to, to meet in their own community, like rather than going to work, they can just log in one spot, all the departments and stuff, considering we have NB and stuff. This also reduced the traffic, so I'm not sure whether you happen to go over East Gungahlin Drive on the peak hours. Obviously that 2 lanes is not enough, and more needs to be, because we are building more suburbs. So that means that road not going to cope up in another couple of years. And then she also proposed a bus route from Gungahlin to Tuggenall. And so she wanted to do a trial route, but we don't know what happened to that. It never gone through. So, because this is all like a related issue if you look into it, because if we don't need to go to some other place, we can help the local business. If everyone's going to work in the Smart Hub, until then a period where we can have their own one of the departments here. So is there something you could work, or is there any way we could help you in a petition, if that's what's going to make it easier for you?
Sure. So the question was about, I believe Megan Fitzharris brought the idea of a smart hub for people to come and work in this one location, which is obviously going to cut down on traffic out of here. It's pretty difficult to get out in peak hour. And then there was also the question about a bus from Gungahlin to Tuggeranong. I know nothing about those things, so I'd be happy to look into them and see where they're at. If they're at, are they dead in the water? I'm not sure, but I'm happy to ask some questions. So can you remind me?
Yeah, we can send an email.
Please.
And if we need to do a petition on this one.
A petition?
Yeah, so
sure.
we could, be
Happy to help if that's something that that we all think we need.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Any other questions? All right, I think we'll call that a night. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
For your support and your initiative on the pool, Darragh. I guess the observation I'd make is the petition which John's pursuing is one mechanism to achieve an outcome. I think putting things out into the media and raising awareness of issues is at least as effective, and possibly the two coupled together is very powerful. So I think it's been a good evening tonight. I think we've covered a good range of topics. In the coming months, we are trying to, after honestly a week, trying to find the right person in ACT Roads to come and tell us what's happening with roads in Gungahlin. I think, the person who thinks they might be the right person, and we're looking to do an update on Gungahlin roads in May, and sometime maybe before then, but after then, with the deep dive on roads and parking in the town centre, possibly as a precursor to a deeper dive workshop. We've got some more stuff coming up about the Thoroughbred Park redevelopment. I think that's in April, but we've got a few things coming up. The reason I'm putting the things that are coming up out are what are the things you think should be on that agenda. So if anyone out there in Facebook land has particular issues they want us to try and extract a minister to speak about, we will do so. We're certainly very focused on getting Minister Gentleman out to the Community Council. I think he's got quite a long list of things he has to address. Draft Variation 364, the proposed assessment of Gungahlin facilities, the failure of the planning system, the need to move the territory plan forward just to get started. So I think there's a number of issues there we've got to chase. But please, you know where to find us. We're on Facebook or on email. There is a Twitter account. We do tweet occasionally and listen to tweets coming back. But failing that, just give us a ring or bail us up in the street. Final reminder, Celebrate Gungahlin starts Saturday week, Saturday the 20th through Sunday the 28th. There's a whole series of really interesting things on all week. Information in a newsletter will be there on the Saturday market day. Whole day kicks off at 10 o'clock. The Celebrate Gungahlin event was a big disappointment. We couldn't do the 10,000 person giant festival, and we had to do a series of smaller events because of COVID. But there's been a huge effort put in by Michelle Grimston, who works for Belco Arts, but is the Gungahlin Arts Program Manager, and is doing a fantastic job pulling that program together. I love the graphics advertising the event, so I'm really looking forward to there. We'll have new shirts. We're very excited about that. We'll have some funky new merchandise to give out, but really what we want from you is to hear your input, your thoughts and your views about how we can build a better Gungahlin. Thanks very much. Good night. See you next month.